Hey guys, Buffy Game Bet today bringing out a video, and today we're going over some Season 3 tactical weapons. I did a Season 3 weapons video for Modern Warfare weapons the other day, and today we're going through another one. This is, I guess you could call it Part 2, or basically tactical weapons for Season 3 here with the Vanguard integration into Warzone. These are weapons just running through what I have in my class. I'm somebody that plays with my weapons classes every day, kind of tweaks them, runs some different things a lot of the time. So I want to go through all these for you and kind of show you guys what I'm running with and how the experience era the past few days, a little bit of rebirth as well. But let's go ahead and jump into these here. And again, these are going to be Modern Warfare weapons. I actually do have some Cold War weapons in there as well. So starting off here, we'll take a look at the Sig Sauer Vertice. Go ahead and bring this thing up. I'm using the Sandblaster blueprint here. We're going to run the monolithic suppressor for the sound suppression, damage at range. This thing obviously very, very good on both rebirth, very low recoil on this weapon. Had some really good games with it on Caldera the other day. I go back to this thing once in a while. I try to keep it in my class a little bit here and there in some different forms. Running the die-cast blueprint option for the mono, just because it gives it a little bit of a different look, which I like. A little bit of a tanner look to run it nicely with the Sandblaster blueprint. Going to run the Tempest Marksman barrel here for the damage at range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. Cons are the ADS speed and the movement speed, but again, not too bad on this weapon, actually, especially because of the Commando foregrip we're going to be running here. The hammer, or the Leopold hammer, the integral hybrid here. You can also run the 4x flip, is a really good one that I like to run with this also. A lot of fun with a Ranger foregrip combo. Also looks really, really tactical as well. But for this one, I have the integral hybrid here. Going to swap down to the 60-round magazine. And again, this is going to double our capacity from 30 of the 5.56 x 45 up to 60. And then we have the Blue Jay blueprint here. Again, just adding a tannish magazine here for that quad stack 60-round to kind of go with the sand. For the underbarrel attachment, we're going to be running the Commando foregrip here for recoil stabilization and the aiming stability. And again, we're running the die cast yet again here, just because it gives it a little bit of a different looking grip itself, which runs really well with the Sandblaster blueprint. So this is a really good weapon right here. I run it with typically all my LVAWs and a lot of my weapons run with the Chevron one for me. Another really good option here, like I said, you can run the 4x flip, and you can run it like this, or for some reason, whatever reason it is, I like to run the, when I run it like this, I like to run it with the Ranger foregrip. The Ranger foregrip is going to give you more recoil control and aiming stability. It will affect your ADS speed, but when you're zooming in with that 4x magnification, it seems to allow it to be a little bit more accurate, in my opinion. And this thing just really, really looks beautiful. So again, really, really effective. And this thing did get a buff at the very tail end of Verdansk, so it is still a very, very good assault rifle. Maybe even one of the best assault rifles from Modern Warfare. So this is the Sig Sauer Vertice. Go ahead and check that out. There's Patrol, actually, with that 20-inch barrel. Check that thing out if you haven't yet. For the sniper rifle, we're going to run the HDR. This is going to be the same build I'm running for all my HDR classes, so we'll just run through it. Mono suppressor, the longest barrel, that 26.9-inch pack laser on the variable zoom, and the FTAC stalker. For my reticle here, I switched up to the Hangman, actually. For some reason, I saw Gilly running this, and it really kind of liked it a lot, so I decided to put this on there. Really good for these sniper rifles for just leading targets. You have a little bit of mil markers there, but using that outside circle on the dot itself, that yellow circle, can serve as a mil marker as itself. The other one I would run is the crossthread. Is also very clean, but for some reason I think this one probably works better for me. One of these two just giving me something big there to get that last little bit of a mil marker on there on moving targets. Works really well. So that's our HDR. Moving on, we have the M249 Saw. In this version, we have the Parasaw. So this is something I've been running a lot on and off lately, and it's actually very, very effective. The monolithic suppressor on this to stretch out that range and the sound suppression. The Bruin 18-inch barrel for the ADS speed and the movement speed on this. This is the shortest barrel, and again, this is one of my builds. The only difference with the build here is that I used to run a Ranger foregrip instead right when this thing came out, and this is what I would always run. And then the Bruin got a nerf, and it really wasn't as viable as it used to be. For some reason, it feels really good now. So I've been using this a little bit lately with the Para barrel, and it's still very, very accurate. And again, you have 100-round box belt there to make up for any misses. But again, pretty good weapon and surprisingly effective. So we'll run attack lasers on there for the ADS speed, aim and stability, and the aim walking steadiness. And then the Leopold hammer yet again with, we'll see the optic there. But again, I love this sight because it allows you to engage at the medium 3.25 zoom as well as close quarters with that top mounted delta. It's the best of both worlds. Why run a hollow or an EOTech like this? Because at long ranges, it's going to be a little bit difficult to hit moving targets or even get good shots on targets. So for me, integral hybrid, you save ammo on those longer targets, and then for close quarters, you can use that top-mounted red dot delta point there on this optic. This is a really good optic, and I think one that's often overlooked. Then we're going to run the Commando foregrip there. Again, recoil stabilization, aim and stability. We don't take a hit for the ADS speed on this, even though we are saving a lot and mitigating that with the parabarrel and the tack laser. And then the final, just to show you guys, this is the final design, obviously, for the Paratrooper Saw. The version I used to run would be something like along the lines of this, and I would even sometimes put a 200-round box mag on there, which was actually, this thing was just a lot of fun. I would run this with my sniper rifle, and it would work out really well. So this is our Para Saw. I haven't run this particular version yet. The weapon itself did receive a lot of horizontal recoil with that Modern Warfare Season 5 or 6 weapon balancing patch, so that's really why I run the Commando. The Ranger probably isn't as viable. I would definitely recommend probably the Commando, but go ahead and give this one or the previous one a try and let me know what you guys think. Backing out, HDR, we're just running the Grassy Knoll blueprint. All the attachments are the same, but this gives us that McMillan type ghillie, COD 4 ghillie suit mission there. Looks really good, and again, has a nice, the wrapping on there just looks really aesthetically pleasing. So all the attachments are the same on that. Backing out, we're going to run an AK104 here. So AK104, covered this build quite a bit before. We have the PBS-4 or the GRU suppressor. And you can see we have sound suppression, vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, and effective damage range increase, which is just crazy pros. The cons here, ADS speed, aim walking steadiness, and the aiming stability. For the barrel attachment, we're going to run that 15.5-inch strafe barrel just because it gives us the 90-degree gas block look. All the other ones do not. They give you the 45-degree gas block, so just doesn't make it the AK-104. So we're going to run the 15.5, gives us that 90-degree gas block. Nice short barrel AK-104. Then we're going to run no laser, Cobra with that shade on there for the Cobra red dot. It's a Russian weapon with a Russian optic. 60-round Bakalite magazine there of the 7.62 by 39mm Russian rounds. And then we have the Spetsnaz grip for the horizontal recoil control and the vertical recoil control. And again, the magazine itself is going to double our ammo capacity from 30 up to 60. So 60-round magazine. You can also go ahead and run just a 45-round magazine. That's also really good, and you'll save on a little bit of mobility there as well. So that's our AK-104. And then obviously I'm running a camo on here because if we take that off, you see you still have that old rustic wood. So putting the camo on gives it that look of a polymer AK-100 series weapon, with the 104 being the short barrel variant here in 7.62 by 39. Backing out, that HDR is the same one as we just covered, so I won't go through that one again. Here for this one, I have it labeled as Mark 46, but I recently switched it out. Here we have the Knights Armament Company Light Assault Machine Gun. So this thing, the Finn LMG, really good weapon, and surprisingly, this base barrel, I've had a lot of good games with this on Rebirth as well as in Caldera as well. So the monolithic suppressor to stretch out that range. Base barrel, no laser here because this is my Ghost fully loaded class. We'll run that 4x flip just because on this weapon I like to have the option for that dot on the hollow, as well as utilize the flip when I need to. And it's actually a very good weapon even at those medium ranges with the 4x flip. Recoil on this is very low as it is in real life with that constant recoil system. So this weapon, very effective even with the base barrel and without using any adverse barrel settings on this. Fully loaded perk, obviously, because this is my Ghost fully loaded. Going to run that 100-round belt of the NATO 5.56x45. You can definitely swap this out for either a barrel or a laser if you wanted to. And the Commando foregrip there, just to add a little bit more horizontal recoil control there with the stabilization. So this is a very good weapon. A lot of good games on this with Rebirth as well as Caldera. This thing, I just did a video recently on this with base barrel Finn where I got a nice win on Caldera. Very, very good weapon. I would highly recommend using it if you haven't really used this thing or even if you're using only the adverse barrels. The base barrels are actually very, very good. Very low recoil, and it still outputs a good amount of damage. Very accurate shots as well. And then here I'm just running my my Akimbo what are these ones? The M19s. Using the heavy silence blueprint, we get that Osprey suppressor on there. It looks really good. And again, this thing just shreds at close quarters with the akimbo on this weapon. Backing out, we actually have a Grazer Class. So I really haven't used this one. If it loads, we really haven't used this one too much. I just put it in the class the other day. PPS-4 suppressor. We have the 16.2-inch GRU barrel there. You can also go ahead and put the mil-spec barrel on if you wanted to, based on whichever pros and cons you want. Skipping out the laser, we're going to run the Cobra optic with that shade as well, because this is a Russian weapon. Again, it is a bullpup assault rifle in 7.62 by 39mm. 45-round drum on there. I don't have the 60-round magazine unlocked yet, but we could put the 60-round drum on. Trying to save on some mobility here, so I'm opting for the 30 or 45-round drum magazine. And then we have the Spetsnaz speed grip there just to control the recoil a little bit more. Really nice looking weapon here is the Grazer in 7.62 by 39mm Russian bullpup weapon. Then I'm actually running a Russian SKS here to pair it with the Russian Grazer. We have a mono suppressor, 22-inch barrel, tac laser, variable zoom, and the commando optic there. Again, a really nice looking weapon. Still really effective as a DMR at those medium ranges. This thing's still fast rate of fire and very accurate. So if you can get somebody in the open, this thing's very effective, and it pairs well with something like a Grazer because you can stretch out that range a little bit more. Not as effective as a sniper, but again, it allows you to do a lot more damage at those medium range engagements if you're pairing it with something like the Grazer here. So definitely check out the SKS. I think it's especially going to be really effective on Rebirth as well. Next, we have our Ash 12 loadout here. So here I have a short build Ash 12 with that monolithic suppressor on there for the sound suppression damage at range. We have the shortest barrel option at the 420mm, just to shorten that up and make it more, I guess, accustomed to the real-life version of the Ash 12. That's going to actually save us with the movement speed and the aim-down sight speed. Cons are the bullet velocity and the recoil control. 5mm laser for hipfire accuracy, EOTech or the holographic, and then we're going to run the Merc foregrip. Again, this is my CQC hipfire build. Very, very effective, and this thing still shreds, even with the 20-round magazine. Up close, this thing's going to crush people. So very good on both Caldera and Rebirth. And then I'm just running the best in slot PKM build here. So we covered this one before. Mono suppressor, 26.9-inch extended barrel, which is the best in slot barrel. Tac laser, VLK optic, and the snatch grip. VLK optic, I opted for the wrong turn blueprint, just to give it that black and tan look, which I'm a fan of. And then the reticle, we're going to run the T-pose there. So this gives us long and close range engagements with this class with the PKM and the Ash 12. And the PKM, obviously, we're using the standard issue blueprint to give us that Zenico PKM, which is just a beautiful blueprint. Definitely, hands down, one of my favorites in the game. Really transforming this weapon as a whole. So there's that PKM. Backing out, we have the H&K 433. So this is a weapon, the Kilo 141, used to be meta. The meta with this weapon left a sour taste in my mouth for sure. I haven't really picked this up since, I guess, before the Kilo really became quote-unquote meta on Verdansk. I was using this a little bit here and there before. You can go back and check out some of those videos. I'll try and link them down below if I remember. But again, this thing, I was using this during the Grau meta, Grau and M4 meta. I was using this thing, and I was saying back then it was a really underrated weapon. And once those other weapons got nerfed, this thing came to the forefront, and it just was never touched to compensate for the nerfs for the other weapons, and it became just the best weapon in the game for quite some time. So it left a sour taste in my mouth, but here I brought it back finally. I was having a lot of fun with this one while playing with it. Monolithic suppressor. Best in slot barrel with that Vanguard Arms 19.8-inch Prowler. We also have the integral hybrid here, the Leopold Hammer. 60-round casket mag, that quad stack, and the Commando foregrip here. Obviously, the meta would be to run the VLK, but putting a Russian optic on a German weapon just feels like a sin, so I can't do that. Leopold Hammer, again, I love this optic because 3.25 zoom for medium to long range, as well as a top-mounted delta for those closer range engagements. So that's our H&K 433, or the Kilo 141. Going back out, we just have our best in slot AX50. I believe I covered this one the other day. Monolithic suppressor, 32-inch factory barrel, tac laser, variable zoom, and the Vanguard Arms Assassin buttstock option for the aim down sight speed. And then for the reticle, again, I have the Hangman reticle, just because the AX50, actually this pairs really well with the AX50 because it is a 50 caliber sniper rifle, a 50 BMG. The bullet velocity is slower than the other sniper rifles, specifically the HDR. So putting that optic on there just helps me leading targets. AX50 definitely an underrated sniper rifle. Recently with the sniper rifle nerfs, this thing definitely I've been seeing a lot more people use it lately. So that's good to see. AK74M. So here we're going to use the monolithic suppressor, the Resonate 23-inch Romanian barrel blueprint to give us go from the RPK barrel to this what is closest to kind of an alpha AK barrel somewhat. So it kind of replicates it almost, besides the wires on there and some other the futuristic look of it. But other than that, it's the closest thing we can get here in game. Really good barrel, and you get the built-in foregrip there, so you don't need to attach a grip, which is really good. You have a skip on the laser. I'm going to run the aim point or the aim op reflex sight there for the precision sight picture, just for close quarters. This thing, sleight of hand for a quicker reload, because we're only running the 30-round mags of the 5.45 by 39mm NATO. This is our AK74MN build. Very beautiful, and again, this thing, I actually had some crazy wins with this on Rebirth, as well as really, really good games on Caldera. So this weapon definitely, especially this build, is something you wouldn't really ever see, but it's surprisingly effective at close range. So that's the AK-74M. Next up, the M4. So here I'm running the Sulfur Wanderer blueprint. This came with the Tulam Ronin bundle. Gonna run the monolithic suppressor, and I'm running the Spanish Moss blueprint to pair with the blueprint for the M4 itself. The 14.5 tack light barrel for the aim down sight speed. Skip the laser. We're gonna run the 4x flip. 60-round casket mag, and the underbarrel is a commando foregrip option there. So this is our M4. Really beautiful looking weapon. Again, this came with a Tulam bundle or the Ronin bundle back in season 3, I believe it was, 2 or 3. And again, beautiful looking M4. Gives us that LVOAC or the Salient Arms Industry gray rifle type barrel on there. So really nice looking, really aesthetically pleasing. It comes with this custom camo on there as well, which looks beautiful. So that's our M4. Go ahead and back out. And last but not least, we have the Mark 17 or the Scar H Scar Heavy. So mono suppressor, base barrel on this one, tack laser, 4x flip, 30-round magazine, and the bipod foregrip. This thing, again, very, very effective at those medium close to close range engagements. Very, very good with that base barrel. And I'm using the 4x flip just because the holographic gives me the dot sight based on which reticle I'm using, and it's really good for the closer range engagements. And then I'll utilize the 4x flip when I need to at the medium range engagement. So that's the Scar Heavy blueprint, or the weapon itself. No blueprint here, I'm just using the base Scar because it looks really, really nice with that tan base Scar camo on there. And then the AX, the same one we already went over. So those are all of our weapons. Really beautiful looking tactical weapons here. And again, you'll see for my operator D-Day, running the buckshot operator skin for D-Day here, as opposed to the Arctic Ops, which I usually always run. And this was from Season 1, and buckshot also from Season 1. I believe this was one of the unlocked challenges from Arctic Ops. I want to say, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Arctic Ops, Nightmare, Buckshot, since these skins are all very similar. I think that's the order it went in. So the buckshot blueprint or operator skin looks really, really good, basically with any weapon on it here. But here we'll run it with the HK433. Let me know what you guys think of these tactical weapons. If you're enjoying the content here for Modern Warfare and Warzone, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. A lot more content coming here, as well as we build into the lead up here for Modern Warfare 2 and leading into Warzone 2. Gonna have a lot of good content here. And the like and subscription really helps out smaller channels like myself. We built this channel on Modern Warfare. I'm really excited for Modern Warfare 2. Bring you guys a lot of in-depth analysis with weapons and the operators and the gear and all of that. So let me know what you guys think down below. Till next time, Buffner Gaming, out.